Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, June 17th. We will continue to have very windy conditions and dry conditions across central areas of the Great Basin today and then somewhat on Saturday. We do have a cold front, an area of low pressure moving into the western Great Basin, so we will see cooler temperatures and higher humidity for far western areas, and that will continue spreading eastward through the weekend as that cold front tracks east. We will also have isolated thunderstorms, which have already started this morning in parts of northern Utah, but we will see very isolated thunderstorms over the eastern third of the Great Basin today. These thunderstorms will be a mix of wet and dry, so any lightning strikes we get in our very critical areas of fuels in Utah will definitely be of concern as we move through the day today and tomorrow, especially with the windy conditions just to the west. As we move into Saturday, we will see a better chance of lightning over the eastern third of the Great Basin, but we'll likely see a little bit more moisture with these thunderstorms. Still a mix of wet and dry in parts of Utah and up into Wyoming, but definitely trending more in the wetter direction. We'll also have some showers and possible thunderstorms moving up into Idaho. And then by Sunday, as the cold front pushes further east, we'll see a little bit more showers and thunderstorms for Idaho, Wyoming, and even down into northern Nevada. Over the last 24 hours, again, we have seen some early morning lightning today over the northern part of Utah and also a few strikes over southwest Utah, certainly where fuels are critical. So we will see those showers and isolated thunderstorms in Utah mainly today and then pushing north into eastern Idaho and Wyoming. Fire activity was light yesterday, even with the windy conditions, just a couple of small fires reported. Over the last 7 to 14 days, the trend in precipitation certainly has not changed, with most of the moisture obviously in the northern half of the Great Basin and still very dry conditions over southern areas. Our ERCs over our critical areas where we do have some high risk today in south central Utah and over eastern Nevada show ERCs at record highs for the time of year and above the 90th percentile. Our satellite loop from this morning shows that strong area of low pressure along the west coast, which will be, again, continuing our windy conditions, also increasing moisture for some thunderstorms and bringing much cooler temperatures over the next few days. The weather pattern for later today, again with that trough along the west coast, very windy conditions yet again today, even stronger winds than what we saw yesterday over much of the eastern half of Nevada and going into the western half of Utah. We also do have a couple of high risk for lightning over parts of the higher terrain of Utah and southeast Utah where the better chances of dry lightning strikes will exist. Looking at our relative humidity and wind gusts for today, single digit to low teen humidity over really much of the Great Basin except for parts of central Idaho. You can see the strong winds on the right, those areas in purple and brown, above 40 or 50 miles per hour with wind gusts, so very strong south to southwest winds today. Even over eastern areas where we will have some lightning or where we have had some lightning this morning, still very, very gusty wind flow, so we will see those thunderstorms that do exist being fast moving and also not producing much rainfall. As we move into Saturday, that trough moves into the western areas of the Great Basin, so an increase again in humidity and decrease in temperature with also some light showers up in the north. Our windy conditions that align with the lower relative humidity will diminish a little bit in aerial coverage, but still strong winds expected over much of eastern Nevada into western Utah. We do not have any high risk for lightning on Saturday, as again we do have a little bit more moisture over parts of Utah on the eastern side of the Great Basin to make those thunderstorms a little bit more on the wetter side. Relative humidity for Saturday, again, you can see the single-digit RHs in Nevada and and western Utah. But again, we will see that increase in humidity over eastern Utah as we do see a little bit more moisture in those areas. We still have some fairly strong wind flow, so those thunderstorms will be moving at a fairly decent clip. So we will see how much moisture we get out of it. Still a risk on Saturday with the strong winds and even any lightning we see today or tomorrow for some new starts and spread. As we move into Sunday, you can see the trough of low pressure moves over in the northern areas of the Great Basin, so definitely cooler temperatures, higher humidity, and better chances of showers in Idaho, Wyoming, and even into northern Nevada. We will see some drier conditions move into Utah, pushing much of those thunderstorms out of the area. But we certainly have a decrease in fire potential region-wide on Sunday, just due to any of the moisture, also the cooler temperatures, and even just the higher humidity over parts of Utah as well. Still critical areas down over southern Nevada as that will largely remain unaffected by the increase in humidity, or obviously any shower activity will be well to the north. Conditions on Sunday, single digit to low teen humidity yet again over the southern half of the Great Basin, so we will see Utah dry out quickly by Sunday after a couple of days of some thunderstorms and gradually increasing humidity. So again, very dry conditions and also gusty winds continuing over eastern Utah. So any lightning starts we do get today or tomorrow certainly could be picked up with the decrease in humidity on Sunday for some spread. Temperature changes coming here today on Friday on the left. You can see still some 80s, 90s, even 100 degrees up in northern Utah today, but we will see a dramatic drop in temperature over the next couple of days, and by Sunday we'll see temperatures 20 plus degrees or so lower across much of the Great Basin, so highs in the 50s and 60s in the north, many 70s, near 80 degrees across Nevada and Utah, and still around 90 in the south. Forecast amounts of precipitation, you can see generally light amounts of precip over northern Nevada, a little bit heavier, better chances of winning rains over parts of central Idaho, and then spotty with the thunderstorms over the eastern third of the Great Basin. As we go through early next week, we'll still be seeing some cooler temperatures as that trough moves off to the east on Monday, but drier conditions, and then gradual warm up for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, where temperatures will again reach above normal by the middle to end of next week. We will see some more moisture coming up from the south later next week, giving us another chance of thunderstorms for parts of Utah going towards Thursday or Friday. Not much change in the 7-day precip. Again, most of that's happening here in the next few days. And then the 8 to 14-day outlook from June 24th through the 30th shows warmer and drier conditions for much of the western and northern half of the Great Basin. Above normal precipitation still for the Four Corners area, indicating obviously that continuation of the monsoon, really starting to push better chances of moisture up into the Great Basin as well. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.